Yes, so my name is Cyra Nargolwalla, and I'm a member of the Bureau of the French National Group. I'm the secretary, and I have been for the past 4 years or so. Yes, so this is the 5th year that I'm secretary of the French group.
Great. And what can you tell us about your group? How big is it? When was it founded, etc.?
Yeah, so I think everyone knows that France was one of the founding members of AIPPI, and the French National Group in its present form was actually founded in 1925. So, AIPPI was in the late 1800s, but the French group in its present form was 1925. And we're about 600, a little bit over 600 members now. I think that's one of the big groups at AIPPI, and we are certainly very active, and we enjoy AIPPI.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about preparing for the study questions at AIPPI France?
Yeah. And so what's very important for the French group is that the preparation for the study questions is done by a large number of group members. So what we do is we set up working groups as soon as we receive the guidelines for the study questions. We have a president and a rapporteur. But we also have a large number of people in each group. I mean, for example, I can give you examples of groups for, let's say, the patent questions. We're regularly 25 or 30 members. For the trademark questions, we're 15 or 20 members. And so a lot of people really enjoy working and investing their time in preparing the French group's report. And once the working group has prepared the report, we present it to the entire French group, and then we can have, sort of back and forth. People can say, well, I think, this question should be replied to differently. So we have a lot of discussion, and a lot of, we end up with a consensus, and then we send the report to the AIPPI International. And one of the important things I think about when we're at the Congress, not virtually, but when we're there in person, is every morning the French group has a meeting at 7:30 or 8 a.m. in order to make sure that we're all sort of aligned on how we want to be in the plenary session to discuss the study questions. So that takes, when you're in jet lag and you're arriving somewhere at the other part of the world, but we're up at 7:30 and 8 a.m. every morning of the Congress, which doesn't stop us from dancing all night as well.
Good. Great. What can you tell me about the group's activities in the last year, which has been a challenging year?
It's been a challenging year, but I think we've tried to come through it, as best we could. We recently had a meeting, a virtual online meeting of one of our trilateral groups. So this is a trilateral group that's been going on for the last at least 10 years, France, Germany, and Poland. And so we had a meeting of our groups. Usually these meetings are in person, but this time it was in April, the 22nd of April, and we had it via Zoom. And we thank the International Bureau because we did it via your Zoom network, and we had over 100 people from France, from Poland, from Germany, but also other AIPPI members, because it's advertised on the AIPPI International website. And this is something that we really enjoy as well, is national groups getting together and discussing either legislation that's, doing a comparative issues of legislation in our different countries, or talking about, important aspects that everybody wants to discuss on let's say, oral proceedings at the EPO by video conference or something of that sort. So we've also got a trilateral group. We started it with the Italian group a couple of years ago. And last year we were supposed to be in Venice with the Italian and the Spanish groups, but that was supposed to be March, end of March of 2020. So you can imagine that that didn't happen, but we're hoping it'll happen again in the near future. Let's hope.
Or work has had on the French legal system.
Yeah, so what we do in the French group is after every AIPPI Congress, we send the finalized resolutions out to a number of stakeholders, so including the government, the French Patent and Trademark Office, the judges, the French, because France, we have a specialized IP court for patent matters, and those judges are always very happy to receive the resolutions. And what we try to do, we haven't been able to do it in the past year because of the pandemic, but we have a meeting with the judges, and we present in great detail each of the resolutions to them. So that's something that they are very happy to partake of this type of meeting, and we find that it's a healthy way also of providing them with information on patents, trademarks, let's say design patents, all sorts of IP rights, and they're very, very happy to and very keen to know what AIPPI is doing in those different areas.
Why should an IP professional in France become part of AIPPI France?
Oh, lots and lots of reasons. So I'll take the domestic aspect of things first. We have commissions. We have within the French group of AIPPI, we have a patents commission, a trademarks commission, a designs commission. The patents commission has a sub-commission which is for the UPC, for the Unitary Patent Court, and we have a trademarks, trade secret committee, and those committees meet. They try to meet at least once a month. For example, the patents committee meets once a month. There are over 100 people who join it's a teleconference situation, and we present case law. I shouldn't say we, because it's not me. The president, the two presidents of the Patents Commission, they work very, very hard, and they provide summaries of new case law for everybody. And so this is also something that's done by the Trademarks Committee, by the Trade Secret Committee, the Design Committee. So that's one aspect of the situation for the French national group. Another aspect is networking. We meet each other. So as you know, we're lawyers, patent and trademark attorneys, and people from industry, in-house counsel. And it's a wonderful way to meet and to do business with people that you see how they work together, because when you're working in a subcommittee or when you're working on one of the study questions, it's a wonderful way to get to know how people work and whether that's a fit for you. So I think that's a very important point. And then, of course, the congresses are a wonderful moment for us to open ourselves up to the entire world, to meet people all over, and to discuss comparative law issues, harmonization of issues that are of great importance to us. And I find AIPPI is very humbling, because you come into a meeting, an international meeting, and you have your own ideas about your own how your own law, your national law works, and then somebody gives you a completely new aspect of things. I mean, I often say this: I find AIPPI is sort of the United Nations of IP, and I think that's very, very enriching for everybody.
Do you have any events or things happening in the near future?
So we had, like I said, we had the trilateral group in April, and we actually this Thursday, so the day after tomorrow, we have our annual open meeting, And this year it's on pharmaceuticals, life science. It's a life sciences day, and we're talking about protection at the EPO for antibodies. We're talking about the vaccines and whether patents are good for vaccines or not. And we're talking about the new case law in France. So that's our next event. And then, of course, we're all geared up for the virtual congress in October, and the whole the study committee meetings before that, and we're looking forward to it. And then at the end of the year, we'll have our annual general meeting, and we always have a conference at the same time as well. So those are the scheduled meetings for now, but you never know, we might have something more exciting as well.
So one final thing, is there any final thought you'd like to share with people who are watching this video?
I think for AIPPI is really the ideal association, because it brings a diversity of people from all over the world, different backgrounds, diversity in terms of the fact that we're attorneys, lawyers, and in-house counsel. So yes, I think it's very, very important to talk about diversity and inclusion, and AIPPI is a wonderful example of that, I think.